CCA2-20. Daniela, Caillou, and Duen decide to go to the movies one hot summer afternoon. The theater is having a summer special called 3 Go Free. They will get free movie tickets if they each buy a large popcorn and a large soft drink. They take the deal and spend $22.50 on food, drinks, and movie tickets. The next week, they go back again, only this time they each pay $8 for their ticket. They each get a large soft drink, but they share one large bucket of popcorn. This return trip costs them a total of $37.50. Find the price of a large soft drink and the price of a large bucket of popcorn. Well, let's take a look here. So the first time they go to the theater, it looks like they end up spending a total of $22.50 after purchasing, they each buy a large popcorn and they each buy a large soft drink. So we don't know the price of either of those. So let's go ahead and say that P is going to equal the cost of one popcorn and then D is going to equal the cost of the drink. So if we're using two variables, that means we're going to need at least two equations in order to solve this. So we're going to create a system of equations. So the first week, let's look here. We have, they ordered 3 popcorns plus 3 drinks, and then they each paid $0 to get in. And I said that equaled $22.50. Now you don't have to include this 3 times 0 in here. I just wanted you to see where everything was coming from, as this is the popcorn, this is the drinks, and this is the admission cost. Total is $22.50. Okay, this is the same thing as 3P plus 3D equals $22.50. Now that was the first trip. The second trip, things are a little different. This time it says that they got one large popcorn between all of them there. So we have P, the one large popcorn, plus they each did get a drink. So we have 3 drinks. And then they each paid $8 for admission. In the end, they said that the total for this was $37.50. Sounds like a ripoff. Let's see how much the cost of everything is here now. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify my expressions here. So the first one, I'm going to rewrite it down here. It's going to be 3 popcorns plus 3 drinks. 3 times 0 is going to be 0, right? So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to put this equals $22.50. For our second one, we have 1 popcorn plus 3 drinks. And then we're also adding to it 3 times 8, which is a $24 charge, equals $37.50. Well, let's go ahead now. We have a P plus 3D, and then we have plus a constant. So let's take our 24 and just subtract it from each side. Now we can focus a little bit more on what the cost of the popcorn and the drinks are. So what I have here is, bringing this down, I have P plus 3D should equal 24 subtracted from 37.50 is going to give me 13.50. So our two equations that we're going to be solving is, first of all, this one here and this one right here. Now, as we look at them, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could solve by using substitution. You could use elimination. You could use the equal values method. You could solve it by graphing. So you see there's a lot of different choices or possibilities here. Since this one already has a p by itself here, I'm going to go ahead and solve this equation for p and then use substitution by substituting it into my other equation here. So what I'm looking at is this. P, if I take it and I subtract my 3d from each side, I know right now that P should equal 1350 minus the cost of 3 drinks, or a popcorn's going to equal 1350 minus the cost of 3 drinks. Because I have that P here, and I have a P up here in my other equation, I'm going to just take it and substitute this expression in for the P, because that's what P equals. So let's take a look here. I'm going to say, oops, I'll switch the colors there. Let me go back. That's what all the dinging is about. I'm going to say 3 times, instead of P, I'm going to put in this 1350 minus 3D. And then we're going to add 3D, and that should equal 2250. So as you can see here, we've gotten rid of one of our variables using this substitution. Now we just need to simplify. 3 times 1350 should end up being, well, 3 times 13 is 39, and 3 times 50 would be $1.50, so we should have $40.50, just multiplying. 3 times negative 3d would be minus 9d plus this 3d equals 2250. Negative 9d plus 3d there. Make sure you pay attention to the negative. That's going to leave us right now with 4050 minus 6d equals 2250. We're going to subtract 4050 from each side. And I have negative 60. Don't forget to bring down that negative. And negative $40.50 there. And we have a positive 2250. So our 50 cents cancel each other out since one's negative, one's positive. And the difference between 40 and 22 is 18. So we should have a negative 18 there because we have more negatives than positives. If you need to use a calculator there to help you out, that's fine. So negative 6 times some number equals negative 18. Well, I think it's safe to say there that a drink is going to cost us $3. So we know right now the cost of a drink is $3. So we can take that information, plug it back in here to figure out what a popcorn would be. So let's do that here. I'm going to substitute it in over here. So I'm going to say P plus 3 times our D now is $3, so 3 times 3 should equal 1350. So I'm just substituting in substituting 3 in for our D. So we have now P plus 9 equals 1350. Take away our 9 from each side, and we're going to get that the value of P is going to equal $4.50. So that should be the cost of a popcorn right now. So we can check it, we can plug it into one of the other ones. However, I don't want this video to get too long. I'm going to tell you that those are correct right now. So popcorn costs $4.50, and drinks cost $3 each. Let's look at B now. Did you write 2 equations or did you use another method? If you used another method, write 2 equations now and solve them. If you already used the method, use the system of equations, skip this part. Yay, we already did that. So we had our 2 equations, we solved it, we got $4.50 and $3, and that means that we are done. We don't even need to do B. So this is problem 2-20. If you have questions, make sure you ask your teacher. If not, then good job, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.